Hi, welcome back to Michigan Grown Outdoors. So I want to get into it. This is my method on how I hang my mobile hang-on stands. Some things to consider before we get into all the details of this is just like your climbing sticks. When you're attaching your climbing sticks, you're pulling out at the base and cinching them down. Essentially, that's what you want to be doing with your stand too. You want downward pressure on this post to remove any slack that's left in this strap with this top strap up here. And that's the ultimate goal with hanging these stands, is get the stand to settle, to take the slack out of the strap. So everything you do and all the steps we do, you'll see this post gradually settle its way down the tree. It'll start up here and gradually settle its way down to the final position. And that's my goal when I hang this stand, is get it as tight as possible to the tree so it's super, super solid. All right. A tip about when you're taking your sticks and your stands off though, when you get it on here, most stands you won't be able to have your seat down, so you have to have it up. The platforms will make contact with this. It's just with the 0.5 and the 22-inch post, it gets that out of that clearance out of there. So just remember that going forward. You're gonna have your seat up, right? When it's on here, push up on it. Put some slack in that strap, and then when you push it, it doesn't make a snap sound or anything like that. It's not under a lot of pressure. It makes it nice and easy. So to hang your stand, the first thing is I do is I get this long end of the strap and I attach it to the front of the post. I'm going to remove some slack out of here so I can demonstrate how and why I do that. I want this strap to be thinner. Like, I don't want it to be able to wrap all the way around the tree. I want it less than that because I want to adjust it as it's in the tree. It helps me hang my stand better. So when you bring your stand up to the tree, having the buckle end over here in your hand, hold it in your hand, reach around, grab it. If you need to go like this and grab the strap this way, do that. But when you go to hang this, make sure there's no twist in the strap. Bring your bracket up. You don't want it over here like this. You don't want it over here like this. You don't want it just always centered, because right now this post is centered on the tree. If I were to cam this down, this corner is lower than that corner. That it'll be tilting. So you want to make sure on these angled trees like this is level up here. So you get a level. You bring your strap around. I'm pulling the platform out a little bit like this. At this point, I'm pushing the button on the cam buckle, getting some slack, bringing it around, removing the slack, all right? You wanna make sure this stuff is parallel to the ground. You don't want any extra slack. You don't want it upward or downward or anything like that. I'm gonna bring you over here. I'm gonna show you that. So, another thing to note is when you're doing this, make sure you're tied into the tree. Get a linesman's rope, get something that you're able to do that, because you want to be able to use two hands. Doesn't matter how light your stand is. If you see this, that strap is parallel to the ground there. All right, it's flat right across. It's not angled up, it's not angled down, it's flat. You see that? It goes right around the tree. So that's going to be your step one. Get it attached to the tree flat. There we go. Now what we want to do is we want to make sure our platform is flat and level. So as I was telling you, make sure it's level here. If you want, bring your platform in and then bring the post up here, and have these lighter stands allow you to have this flat as you're doing this, just to make sure you're flat. But then when you're going to cam it down, bring the platform up, push down. If you watch, I'm going to push down on this. This is going to settle down the tree like I was talking about. That's what you want. You want the stand to settle. Settle down a little bit. Keep pressure down, because if you don't and you just push this down, it'll just lift up on the post. So you want to make sure your post stays where it's at. Cam it. So that's the first initial cam. I call that the pre-cam. Real sweaty. It's hot out here today. So that's your next step. Now at this point, you want to level out your platform. You could have done this in the previous step or now, but you want this platform to be level. To make those adjustments, if you lift up on here and you adjust this up and down and you set it, make sure you put weight back on and push it back down. That's fine. But that's how you do it. You bring it up, make your adjustment, test it out, and do it till it fits what you want. You just don't want this angle down. You don't want to feel like you're falling forward out of your stand. So we got that. So this whole point, this strap will start sliding down, angling down like this as we go, but it'll still maintain flat back here. So I got the bracket in place, I got the initial cam. Now I want to angle my seat back up, and this is where, when you get in the stand, your first step, you want it to thump down right here next to the post, pushing down. I didn't do this for many years, and I learned this trick from Andre D'Acquisto, and ever since then, I want to say I've only had the tow hook maybe 5% of my hangs, and that's only because it's a weird angle, and sometimes you just need to. And that's another important thing is, there's some of these stand companies coming out saying don't tow hook it or do a half tow hook or whatever. No, you want to be able to tow hook the stand. This stand shouldn't fail you in the method that's used to mobile hunt. Andre D'Acquisto created this system for a reason, to eliminate that ratchet strap from click, 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 sucking it into the tree, making it tight. You can make it just as tight by doing this as a ratchet strap. So that's what that's our goal here, is we want to make sure this stand is nice and tight to the tree. And again, make sure when you're doing this, you're tied to the tree. You want to be able to use both your hands. You want a linesman's belt, even if it's through here, but typically I try to get it up. If I try to find a branch and put it over there so it keeps the rope up out of the way, but I'm still able to hang back, put my weight into my harness, and use both my hands as I do this. So remember that going forward. You want hands free, being able to hang your stand without having to hold yourself to the tree. So now I'm going to jump up here. I'm going to get my first step here. First, give it a little 1-2 pop, and right now this isn't pulling away from here. I only need to tow hook this if this is pulling away. But this stand is ready to hunt right now. Like I said, these stands are super easy to hang. Get them in here, stuff like that. I'm going to come out here on the edge, put a little bit more pressure. Yep, it's still nice and solid. It's not going anywhere. But I'm going to show you how to tow hook anyways. The tow hook, you want to kneel on your seat, direct line with your post. And then you want to lift up with your tow hook, right? You're tow hooking it. Try to get that stand to settle a little bit more, and then push back out. And now it's rock solid, ready to hunt. Now we're ready to go. All right. When you're tow hooking this, the reason why you want your weight centered on your stand is when you lift up on this platform is no longer touching the tree. Right now, this is the only thing that's keeping this stand from kicking out either direction, is down here. Because the only contact points are here, and it's off and it's on an angle here. I'm gonna bring you around. This is not a straight tree. This is not the most friendly tree in the world to hang in. That's why I picked it out, to show you how versatile these stands are and why you need brackets designed like this. So you got your strap, right? You got a slightly angle in it now, and it's all settled in, right? When I pull out on this, that's all I can get, just a couple little bit. Just like maybe a 1/4 inch pull out, right? Nice and tight. So when you're kneeling on this, and this is up, this whole thing can kick out side to side on you. That's why you're doing this, is to make sure this doesn't kick out. But you do run a risk when you tow hook of the stand twisting on you. That's why you want to hug the tree, grab branches, whatever you need to do. Even though you're still tied in, you still don't want to have to fall and then cut yourself, right? So make sure you're safe about this. And that's why when you hang your sticks, you don't hang your sticks way below your stand when you're tow hooking. Make sure you have sticks close by, so if you need to, you can step over onto them, climb down, readjust your stand, and get back to hunting, right? So I'm gonna bring you over here, show you the angle of this tree. So if we look at this tree, you can see how that's offset right there. It's all the way out there towards that end. You can see the strap, it's flat back here, but it's starting to angle down over here, putting that strap under a lot of tension. You got your gap in your post. Again, this is a gnarly tree, which is why it's so important to have stands that can hang on trees like this. You can see that backward angle in there and the side lean as I walk around. So something to consider there. And that's how it's looking. You can see how it's all twisted and all crazy like that. So if you got any questions or if you got any tips yourself, post them below. But that's generally how I hang my stands every time. If I need a tow hook, I will. I only demonstrated it because I didn't really need it, but I wanted to demonstrate it in this video. One thing I do say is if you run a bottom second strap here, don't attach this until after you tow hook. Because if you're holding this bottom part to the tree, you're not going to get it to settle. So you want to make sure you're only tightening this strap down after you tow hook your stand, and you get this strap as tight as you can. Then you attach the second strap. All right. Be safe about it. These stands are really small, so you don't really have that much room for kneeling and putting that strap on. Take the extra time, get out, attach it from the side if you want it, and then get back in. The only stand that I really had that I really used 2 straps on was my beast stand, but that's for other reasons. So good luck this season. Hopefully you stay safe. Again, this is only a suggestion. These are what I do, and I want to show what I do in my methods to get this stand as secure and as tight to the tree as possible. It may not be the fastest method, it may not be your method, but this is how I'm doing it. This is how I'm getting this secured to the tree nice and tight, and this is how I'm hunting out of these stands. So good luck out there. Hopefully you stay safe, and I just want to say again, make sure you're tying in your stands. Make sure you have utilize that lineman's rope, utilize your tether, your safety line, however you want to word it. Utilize those. Make sure you're safe. Make sure you're coming home to your family, because that's what's important, is to make sure that we can come home and hunt another day. Y'all take care.